You may not agree with every decision I've made. You may at times have been frustrated by the pace of change, but you know what I believe. You know where I stand. You know I tell the truth. And you know I'll fight for you and your families every single day as hard as I know how. You know that. You know that. I want to train 2 million Americans at our community colleges with the skills businesses are looking for right now. That's the kind of change we need. That's what we're fighting for in this election. Change, real change, means we live up to this country's legacy of innovation. You know, the great thing about what's happening in the auto industry, we're not just building cars again, we're building better cars. Cars that by the middle of the next decade will go twice as far on a gallon of gas. Today, there are thousands of workers here in Ohio and across the country who are building long-lasting batteries and wind turbines. And I want to make sure they keep building them here. I don't want tax codes that subsidize oil company profits when they're already making money hand over fist. I want to help and support clean energy jobs here in Ohio and the new technology that will help us cut our oil imports in half. I don't want a tax code that rewards companies for shipping jobs overseas. I want to give tax breaks and reward companies that are creating the next generation of manufacturing right here in America. Making American products stamped with 3 proud words, made in America. That's my plan for jobs and growth. That's what's at stake in this election. Change is turning the page on a decade of war so we can do some nation building here at home. You know, as long as I'm Commander-in-Chief, I will make sure that we pursue our enemies with the strongest military the world's ever known. But it's time to use the savings from ending the war in Iraq and winding down the war in Afghanistan to pay down our debt and rebuild America, repairing roads and bridges and schools all across our country, and putting our veterans back to work, because anybody who has served our country and fought for its freedom shouldn't have to fight for a job when they come home. That's what I believe. That's my commitment to them, and that's what's at stake in this election. Change is a future where we reduce our deficit, but we do it in a balanced, responsible way. You know, I've signed $1 trillion worth of spending cuts. I want to do more. But if we're serious about the deficit, then we've got to ask the wealthiest Americans, folks like me and Governor Romney, to go back to the tax rates that were paid when Bill Clinton was president. You know, and the reason, first of all, I promise you we can afford it. Second of all, a budget is choices. And if we're serious about reducing the deficit, then we've got to make choices. And as long as I'm president, I will never try to reduce the deficit on the backs of middle-class folks and poor folks. You know, I'm not gonna turn Medicare into a voucher just to pay for another millionaire's tax cut. I'm not gonna make it more expensive for young people to go to college just to give me a tax break.